there are a few people in politics that you can always depend on to stir the pot. Well, more or less. Ed Randazzo, I've become a little concerned about you of late. My friend Ed Randazzo just was unanimously elected as chairman of the Republican Ambassadors Organization in Pennington County. And I'm wondering, Ed, if that compromises you, because what happens is when conservatives get moved to a leadership position, they seem to be silenced or somehow co-opted. And that just doesn't fit your persona.
Well, I assure you that my philosophy has not changed, but let me clear up something. You've used a word that is just a signal to many, and you used Pelosi and pot in the same sentence.
Now, in this segment,
or
are you talking about some previous life?
No. I heard it. I listened very carefully and heard you say that. So I was wondering if are you telling me something about Nancy?
See, now you're hallucinating. See what happens? Here's the question of the day, Ed, and I think Hillary framed it very well. Your election to the position of chairman of the Republican Ambassadors, what possible difference could it make?
Well, it can make a lot of difference.
Okay, tell us.
I believe, and first of all, I of course sought the office of chairman, and I have been, I believe, called to unify the party. Now, that doesn't mean that you compromise your principles.
Then how can you unify people who are staunchly, let's say, pro-abortion, pro-gay rights, pro-tax, pro-spend in the Republican Party with those of us who are on the exact opposite side of that?
You're painting a picture that is not realistic. There are very few that fit the mold you just described. And I think one of the things we need to do within the Republican Party, I'm talking about.
Would you like me to name a few?
Fire away, but let me answer the question first. There are many in the party that do not agree with us on every issue, and that's always going to be the case. However, when we contrast it with those from the other party or parties, you see a vast difference in all of them. So what I'm saying is we need to unify to do things like, and let me give you a concrete example. We have two senators in Washington. Right now, essentially, South Dakota doesn't have a voice in the Senate because every vote that comes along that John Thune votes one way on it, Senator Johnson works the other way and votes the other way.
That's about to change, though, isn't it?
Well,
with the,
it might.
If Mike Rounds is elected to the Senate, he and our girl Nancy will team up with John Thune, won't they?
Well, I don't know about Nancy Pelosi.
They'll tag team John Thune is what they'll do.
Well, no, I think that's unfair. I think that it's fair to say that on most issues, hopefully on all the core issues of the Republican Party, that a Senator Mike Rounds, a Senator Stace Nelson, a Senator Larry Roden, a Senator Bosworth, and or a Senator Ravensburg, the latest entrant into the race.
Or maybe Senator Randazzo.
I'm not running.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying that there would be much greater possibility that especially on core Republican issues, that we would be far better off with a Republican in the Senate. And that's what I'm working toward. We need that seat.
So you're willing to send a Republican to the U.S. Senate, for instance, regardless of which candidate it is on the Republican side?
Yes.
I think that I rest my case. So that's unifying the party?
Well, it's unifying the party, and it's also enhancing the voice we have in the Senate. It is a seat we need. We need to get 6 seats in the Senate to put the brakes on the administration. We have a House now that's divided, but at least is making some effort to rein him in. But he has no. He has the Senate in his pocket. So
okay, we're out of time, but last word. You're unifying the Republican Party. What is the one thing you would tell us as a parting word to people who would say, if we nominate someone who's not a conservative, I'm staying home?
Well, I think if that's the question that you're framing, I'm saying it is very likely that some conservative tenets would be upheld by any one of those candidates. It doesn't mean that they'll be 100% with us. I don't know that they'll be 50% with us, but Johnson is 0% with us. And if we have to settle for 50 or 60 or 70 as opposed to 0, it's a chance we have to take.
Well, there you have it. This from a guy not long ago in a segment who said God wants it all. Now he's saying Republicans will take 20, 30, 40, maybe 50%. It's great to have Ed on the team, and I just have to remind him and others that he's not always right.